My name is Sarah Lefkowith, and during my time at Gallatin, I've studied the interplay between politics and media and how this relationship goes to produce our popular and political culture. But today, I'm going to focus on one case study that I think highlights a pretty interesting factor of our political reality. So let's start with this question. What does it mean for our country when the people to our left are forced to debate the person to our right on matters of national security and equality? Obviously, to the left we have some senators, and to the right we have Lady Gaga, not a senator, nor somebody who's consistently involved in government at all. I assume because we're at NYU, everybody here knows who Lady Gaga is, but just in case you don't, for the sake of this conversation, know that she's somebody who's made quite a name for herself by behaving provocatively and by dressing provocatively as well. And so on the surface, it's pretty interesting that all of these people would have remarks that would be included within the same political debate. The issue in this case was the law that we commonly refer to as Don't Ask, Don't Tell, by which homosexual members of the armed forces could be discharged should they choose to make their sexual orientation known. This was put on the books under the Clinton administration and came up again during President Obama's candidacy. In May of 2010, Congress voted to repeal the act, which then put the ball in the Senate's court. This is also when Lady Gaga got involved. So Lady Gaga hasn't always been a political figure, but she did align herself with the gay rights movement by making some remarks during some of her shows, and also by making an appearance at the National Equality March in 2009, shown here. She began tweeting about Don't Ask, Don't Tell after Prop 8 was overturned in August of 2010, and this is when she began making the transition more seriously between interested pop star to pop star activist hybrid. This culminated in September, when she made an appearance at a rally in Portland, Maine. The speech she gave featured a metaphor that compared the rights of the Constitution to foods in a cafeteria, the catchline being this: equality is the prime rib of what we stand for as a nation. Shouldn't everyone deserve the right to wear the same meat dress that I did? Okay, so this is totally ridiculous, because Lady Gaga here is acting as a politician. And what's more, she's doing it astoundingly well. She garnered a lot of media attention and gathered a lot of support. She even had Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid responding to her on Twitter. And it's this sort of thing, politics through social media, that allowed Lady Gaga to get involved in the Don't Ask, Don't Tell debate. Okay, so let's talk about media for a second. The primary function of all media, whether it's radio or newspapers or television, is to share information. And then at an even more basic level, it's to direct attention. Now, in a pre-Web 2.0 age, media determined what's important and broadcast it, but the public had very little say as to what the standard of importance might entail. So how did social media change this? Well, first, everyone can be a content creator. Regardless of whether our opinions are meant for a large audience or not, people can now broadcast their viewpoints in ways that previously only large corporations could. Second, people can organize themselves efficiently and effectively. Things like email and Facebook drastically lower the cost of communication and make old problems of coordination, well, a thing of the past. And third, social media serve as a valuable tool for traditional media to monitor and track what their consumers are actually interested in. Because things like newspapers and cable broadcast networks are ultimately for-profit industries. And if they can manufacture material that they know will capture attention, they have a higher percentage of viewers that tune in or read their materials, and therefore, they have more profit. Thus, we have things like anchors on CNN reading viewer tweets, or the New York Times integrating features onto their website that track what you email and post to your Facebook, and a general amenability of the mass media to tailor more of their content to what their viewers desire. So it's my contention that this new media structure moved Lady Gaga into the center of Don't Ask, Don't Tell's debate. Now, we've already established that Lady Gaga is no politician. She's not a senator. But she does carry enormous and in some ways calculable influence. She currently has over 9 million followers on Twitter and over 31 million fans on Facebook. And when she asked this enormous amount of fans to mobilize for her cause, many of them did. And she asked them to do fairly simple but noticeable things, like email their senator, or share links with each other, or make videos of themselves and post it to the internet. Thus, the mass media were incentivized to cover what Lady Gaga was saying because their audiences were constantly demonstrating that they wanted to know. And because of this, a pop star's remarks were included in the midst of a serious political debate. Lady Gaga stepped into the role of a political activist, caused more movement in political opinion than some people who'd been elected to office, and it was really just the result of her ability to direct attention onto herself. So what can we learn from this? Well, I think we need to reconfigure in our heads what constitutes political communication and representation. I mean, Lady Gaga is obviously just one example of this. The recent revolts in Egypt truly exemplify the potential of social media to organize and mobilize mass political movements. But I chose Lady Gaga in part to demonstrate that this sort of power is divested indiscriminate of size or opinion. Another example is this. Pastor Terry Jones, a pastor in Florida, recently organized several mock trials in which some Qurans were burned. He caused multi-day rampages of violence throughout Afghanistan after posting video of this to his church's website and to his own Facebook and Twitter. Politics are going to be really different now that anybody can just grab the spotlight and focus it on themselves. In a world where the key to entering serious political debate can rest in a status update or a YouTube video, who knows what's coming next? Thank you.